Okay, so that last breakdown we did use some really complicated breakdown and a lot of questions. We're going to reduce those questions down to the ones that I think are just really the most significant. And again, I've got my thinking cap on, so we can do this expeditiously, but with enough thought that we really work through what's a focus on the negative. Now, remember what focus on the negative is all about. Focus on the negative means dismissing the good and focusing on the negative. As someone once said, we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses. So, focus on the negative is a thought that we're just thinking about all of the negatives. We're not thinking about the positives. And we're going to use some more simplistic Socratic questioning techniques for breaking it down. It's good brain muscle stretch. We're going to take each ant. Right now, we're going to take a negative ant, building alternative thoughts, taming and training that elephant so that we can take a thought that has a focus on the negative and break it down. And here's the questions you're going to go through. What's the evidence that your thought is true? Is there any evidence on the other side? We're going to break one down here in a minute, so you'll see how that works. Is there another way of looking at this situation? If it's true, how could I cope with that? What's the best possible outcome? What's the most realistic outcome? What's the effect of telling myself this? What could be the effect of changing my thinking? What would you tell your friend? Or think of a specific person here. If they were right there, what would you tell them if they were thinking this thought? If they were in the same situation to have this thought, how might that apply to you? And then the last one is what you thought these things true, what should you do now? What's the best use of my time right now that I've thought this thing through? All right, so let's go through one. Focus on the negative. Here is my example thought. Now in the box below, you're going to put your thought. Here's my example thought. This course is a pain in the keister. All we do is look at the bad. That's a negative thought. All we do is look at the bad. What's the evidence? Well, yes, there's a lot of negative discussed here. That's what we're doing is we're taking dysfunctional and destructive thinking, thoughts that are disruptive, and reworking them into positive, effective lifestyle. The reason it's here is because we're looking at the solutions also. It's balanced to follow the three keys: challenge accepted, action taken, goals focused. I like those three keys: challenge accepted, action taken, goals focused. So evidence is, yes, it is a lot of negative discussed, but the evidence there's also evidence that we're doing the right thing. It's not just pain, it's not just the bad. What's another way of looking at it? You're going to answer that below with your negative thought. Another way is to accept the negatives as information. I can use them to grow in the future. So really this course is about growing as a person. Another way to look at my negative situation is I'm using the negative as an information to grow my future. Third question, if it's true. Well, what if it's true? There are just so many negatives. The best possible outcome will be to find myself in here and smash down as many ants. The most realistic outcomes, I find enough to really get started on a bigger and better life that's more productive, taking me where I want to go. Next question, the effect. What's the effect of believing all this negative is to depress me and take away my joy of growing? I just get hung up in all these negatives. That's going to be the effect. The effect of changing my belief is to get control of my future. What's that next question? Tell a friend. Friend, you need to join me in this journey. Everyone can benefit from this. That's what I'd say to a friend. And then what's that next thought that I want to take? Do it now. Okay? I'm going to put in an extra 15 minutes learning today and get something going. Now, you go through the bottom on a negative thought that keeps coming up to you, or one that you got right now, and you answer those questions for your life instead of.
Join us now at solemncommunity.net and transform your mindset.